Hello, Sue Rose Minahan Talk Cosmos Chat with Sara Stromley again. This is our second sequel to yesterday on the 4th. Today is January 5th, and this is the Georgia election. And monumental. We're going to start right off where we picked up before and share this screen with this great chart that is a tri-wheel. And on the inside is Georgia. They were a state in the 1700s in 88, and then Atlanta, which was 50 years later in 1836, and then the transits of today at the election time in Atlanta at 7 o'clock, which is the time that they concluded. So, and there are so many issues, and one, anyway, go ahead, Sara. I know you've studied this.
Yeah, so looking at the middle wheel, which is the state of Georgia and its birth chart, the focus is heavily upon the rulership of this chart is Venus. And you can see Venus is at right on the midheaven at 0 degrees of Aquarius. And this exact point was where the great conjunction that we just had a few weeks ago occurred with Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius. And it's becoming like a lightning rod, so to speak, of and the perfect storm of change that we're going to be seeing, that's going to change the landscape and the tide of
social reset.
Yeah, social reset, but a lot of contention that may still come in ripples and waves or bigger to come. So
if I yes, and then I noticed too this similarity of a signature with Georgia's natal Uranus, Mars, and here it is again in the transits, and they are square. So that is
another repeating theme of Aquarius there.
Absolutely, for change. Just to echo what you're saying about significant change, which of course with Aquarius is evident. We are trying to elevate our social community and change from that structure of Earth that we had.
Yeah, and you can see this is a state that really reverberates with the big vision and the big thoughts with the Sagittarian themes of use of resources and taxes towards e-commerce and making big innovations that occur there. As far as, you know, the cotton gin was kind of produced there, that was a major resource for them. They've been one of the biggest resources for textiles, and they housed they were host to the Olympics. So, I mean, how many places in the world actually get that honor every 4 years?
Well, it is amazing, because right there you have the South Node diversity and Jupiter expanding that. Yeah, both in Gemini in the second house. That's of resources. I had listening to what you speak. Go ahead.
So, I don't know if we have time to go into
we do.
Time.
But I wanted to bring up one other point, and that is that here you can see, like you were talking about, the cultural significance. Here we have all that Sag, and to show that natal Georgia has their North Node in Sag along with their Mercury, and then Atlanta, the middle one, has their Sun conjunct that point at 18 and 20. And right now, our South Node is at 19, which is most amazing. And yes, so okay, so we wanted to go.
Yeah, and also 6th house, 12th house themes typically embody themes and reverberations around the sense of master slave issues. So you can kind of see that is still kind of embedded in the cellular memory of the state and
Well,
its unfortunate history of being headquarters of the Confederacy.
and of Ku Klux Klan. I'm not sure it was where exactly. I haven't looked at the research, but unfortunately, am I right about this? That it was,
Yep.
yeah. And so therefore, there is a lot of tradition and that is yet to be perhaps remade. And I think we have eras that goes back to eras of the inclusion. But I think you wanted to go to one of the candidates. Is that right? In our 10 minutes, we only have 10 minutes. So here we
Yeah.
have the two, Perdue that's opposing Jon Ossoff. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see David Perdue, as we were looking at his chart, he seems to really resonate very strongly with the, as we worded it, the embodiment of the city of Atlanta, with his strong Sagittarian nature and his just his expansive way. You know, he's having a Jupiter return, and Jupiter's conjunct Venus in the 11th house of, you know, the group associations.
And that Jupiter is conjunct the new, great conjunction, and reminding folk, because we've talked about this so much, you and I, trying to prepare for this, but his birthday is exactly the same birthday as is
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
So when you say it's similar, it's like it's a solar return. It's really the heart and core of a certain belief system of his area. I'm just so already saying.
And the eclipses, or the whole eclipse season that we've had and we'll be continuing to have into this year, is going to be hitting directly on his Sun, Mercury, Chiron there. So changes afoot. Or big things historically are happening for him.
Absolutely. So it is really amazing, particularly with that Jupiter-Venus conjunction that's so close exactly to Atlanta, or to Georgia with with Venus. What about over here with John? Let's look at him, because we only have about 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes.
Yeah, and we don't know the exact birth times on any of these, so you can't really trust our rising times and our moon signs.
Oh, and it is just, and for that mention, I want to say it is an Aries chart, so it's a natural chart system. That's what we're looking at. Yes.
You can see there's a strong Piscean theme with him that gives him, his communication style seems to be very emotive and has a strong appeal. He's a very aggressive with his debate style. You can see that in the square with his Taurus Mars squaring his Venus squaring his Mars, I should say.
But I might say, but Sara, also that moon is, no, is it? Oh boy. I wish we had the other chart. I'm sorry. It's not in Scorpio. Here, I interrupted you. I'm sorry. I was thinking to myself, it was, at best, it's conjunct. Never mind.
But, yeah, I mean,
I'm going to go to the next two. We're like, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm stressed. We have like half a minute. Go ahead.
But there's a lot of appeal with Ossoff has as well. That we're not.
Here's Kelly. Here's the incumbent.
Kelly. Mm-hmm. And Kelly, you know, and both Kelly and David Perdue are very affluent, and you can see this with her Jupiter, Venus, and we're pretty certain that that's relatively close in her orbit of her moon. You can see she's a definite power broker of sorts. It's speculated that she bought her Senate seat.
Exactly. But she also has that, okay, we have half a minute and we'll have to close.
Yeah.
It's that same signature, amazingly, that she connects. And she's also has that Sag. There's a lot of Sag energy, and Capricorn,
resonates with Alana's chart. Yeah.
yes. And then again, this double signature. Whereas here at Raphael, he is the one that I was thinking, oh, and her moon, there's some conjunction. I think, no, it's her Venus that conjuncts. That's what I was trying to think of to, I think it was Atlanta's or Georgia's moon. So there's that, again, that signification of emotional depth that just answers, but through buying her way, possibly, because she doesn't have a lot of experience, like you say. And Raphael, he's a contender, and his Jupiter Uranus is trining that new
A big synodic cycle of great conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter, Saturn. And his sun is opposed it too. So it's like Sun, Mercury are an activation point for that as well. So at his very core, he's naturally a good leader and orator. But he kind of speaks to this as well.
And the other thing was, and we can't see it here, but this Venus is conjunct the natal Jupiter, I think, of Georgia.
Yes.
So there is a real amazing attraction that must be deep also. So we will find out. And I think we'll have, if we can, another one after this amazing election. And I thank you, Sara, very much. Your impetus to bring this force up has been, and Sara is Brain Body Therapy. Go to Talk Cosmos. Thank you. We love you. And we'll talk to you again. All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Okay. Mm-hmm.